Lady Mae. Girl, I thought you was a mess, honey, and now I know for sure. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Greenleaf. And this is actually season 3, episode 10. Lady Mae, girl, you done that child. Your story's being spilt, ma'am. Anyway, we'll get to it. First things first. Corley has decided she's going to take the plea deal. She's afraid to go through with the case. The DAs have actually gotten to her. They've actually scared her, with the whole involvement of Grace and all of that, and telling her, there's no way you're going to win this case. And she's actually listening, and she wants to go ahead and take the deal. Well, Rochelle steps in, and Grace is just watching her. And, Rochelle, she's so manipulative and so calculated and snake-like that she's thinking that she's like, playing this game, and Grace is picking up on all of her everything. She just watched her. She watched how she sat back and let Grace, basically fall out, and then she jumps in and then just manipulated Coralie. I laughed at her. I said, look at her. Smooth talking ass. She got Coralie right together, baby. She got to telling this story about her mother being in jail when she was younger and her sister and her being put into foster care. And I said, girl, you telling too much. Sure enough, when they walked out of that meeting, Coralie was hugging the manipulator as usual and paying Grace dust. And Grace got on the phone with Darius and was like, listen, here's what I've heard. Go find something. Later on, he ends up finding information. He found 3 Rochelles in the system, but no Rochelle crosses. They end up doing some little moving abouts. They end up finding the foster parent, which was a Caucasian woman. Found out the last name is not Cross. It was James, and she did have a sister. Rochelle just tied up in her lies, and I couldn't believe that she. Well, again, she thinks Grace is kind of goofy, so she ain't really paying Grace no attention. But she just put herself right out there with all her information. So I was like, wow. So like I said, they went to see the foster parent. They got the one up on Miss Rochelle Cross at this point. Okay, speaking of somebody having the one up on somebody, baby, the new Karissa, we didn't like her too much. The new Karissa was just too soft. She just let shit go on, and she just didn't snap. But the old Karissa is back, baby. She said, I'm going on down here to this church and get things together. She rolled in. First thing she sees when she come in, she meets the new accountant. The new accountant is good. He's a good accountant. He immediately has already found that bogus account. He found it, and he's like, what the hell's going on, with this? And he's like, I'm going to look more into it. Karissa goes over there. She tells Jacob, you need to contact Tasha. There's this account. This weird. He's like, I don't remember, very much about it. This, that, thing, and the other. She's like, Jacob. She's like, he said, I'll call her. Tasha ain't answering Jacob. So Karissa called Tasha herself. Baby, that damn Tasha's over there drinking Jack Daniels and being a mess all over the couch and spilled all the beans about her kissing Jacob to Karissa with that drunk shit. She's all like, why are you calling me all mad? I'm really so sorry. Karissa wasn't even mad. Like, she wasn't mad. She was just, girl, she was just drunk. She was drunk as hell. Karissa went back up in that office, baby. When I tell you she laid Jacob's ass out. Told him, how could you do this to me again? I trusted you. You ain't shit. Everything that's going on is your fault. All of it. The Zora shit, all of that. Because I listened to you and I trusted you and I done sat back and you have fucked me around again. I was like, ooh, old Carissa's back. I said, mm. In the meantime, in between time, Rochelle done came on over there to um Tasha's house. And they got to arguing back and forth. She told her, girl, I'm done. I did what I did and I'm done. I ain't doing nothing else. Because she was like, what do you mean? Why aren't you over at church? She said, I quit. She's like, so you clowning. She said, you wait till Basie finds out what you've been doing. She said, you done fell in love with him? You did. You're a mess. She said, whatever. She said, girl, any old way, Basie's dead. If Basie wasn't dead, then where the hell is he? Ain't heard from him, ain't seen him, nothing. Where the hell is he? Rochelle left up out of there, went out and got in the car, and made a phone call. I was like, we got a problem. I was like, okay, child. I said, basically, ready to show back up, child. Mess. So they end up going through all that. A little bit after that, Basie ends up showing up with Rochelle to Tasha's. And the last thing we actually see with them, he come in there and she like dropped this lamp because she had grabbed this lamp, going to the door. She's like, Rochelle, get away from my door. And when she opened the door, she was saying, you got like 5 seconds to get out of here because I done told you I ain't playing with you no goddamn more. Child, and Basie stepped from behind that doorway, baby. That bitch dropped that lamp and bust that crystal lamp all on the ground. Child, he eased in there, baby, and rolled up on her and said, looks to me like you've been a bad girl. I said, oh, a mess. A mess. And that's where that broke off. That's the last we say to them. Miss Rochelle then took her little self on over and got all up in Bishop's space. And they, it's on and popping pretty much. I ain't even really got a whole lot to say with that. It's pretty much on and popping. He all but basically kissed her on the damn porch, drinking wine. I said, this is the drinkingest damn Christians I've ever seen in my life. They must be drunk as shit. But anyway, screw them. Okay, so let's talk about Isaiah and Zora. I ain't going through all of the little scenes with them, but I'll tell you this. Isaiah is right back to his old tricks, being mean as hell. He talking to her like she crazy. She's starting to feel locked up and locked in. She said she got an acceptance letter from Spellman and they wanted her to come for a meeting and they're in Atlanta. And he's like, I need you with me. This, that, just smothering her. And last we saw of her, she was looking at the letter and I think she's getting ready to slide on out on him. She ready to slide out on him. They did radio interviews and he wouldn't even claim her. Wouldn't even claim her. Talking that shit. I said, yeah, he gonna be hitting you again in a minute. But I think she's getting it. She's getting it. She gonna get the hell on away from him. I said, they took all of this. You all the way in Atlanta. You done left Memphis and went all the way to Atlanta. And it's did nothing but more the same. More the same. He's knocking shit off tables and all that old bullshit. I was like, girl, get yourself out of that mess you got yourself into. Let's talk about Charity. Charity that met another man. It's cute man. Maxine's they're getting ready for a date with Lady Mae. So Maxine and her people were there. And this guy is he is Maxine's musical director. And she's sweet on him. He picked up on it. He offered her to come out to dinner. She said no. He called her back, offered her to go out to dinner. He said, I'm going to be here for a week. She's like, okay, cool, no problem. But in the midst of it, and this is something I said, Charity, you're just so fucking ridiculous. So broken. In their first meeting, she tells him all about Kevin being gay and them being divorced. Why are you telling this man this? And he took that whole, that whole Christian stance and like Kevin wasn't shit. And yeah, he's deceitful rather, and this, that thing, and the other, and on and on and on. And she got a little offended. So when he ended up calling her back, they started talking. She said, let me say something to you, because you said something to me that didn't strike me good. She said, Kevin is the father of my child. And you called him deceitful and all of that. And you don't know Kevin. You don't know him. He said, didn't you tell me he was gay? Then he deceived you. and he's deceiving the Lord. And it's that he went into that whole fire and brimstone thing, right? And didn't this bitch sit up there and got an attitude? She got an attitude, baby, and told him off. Told him, no, I won't be going out to dinner or nowhere else with you. And hung up on him. And I said, so you got mad at him for basically saying the same things that you always say about Kevin. Okay, Charity. So I guess you allowed to hate on Kevin, but ain't nobody else allowed to hate on him. Okay, Charity, I get it. You Mae's daughter. Crazy as cat shit. But anyway, I said, all right. But again, you started all that. You started all that. Because I didn't even understand why he needed to know that Kevin was gay and all that. What none of his fucking business. He'll know Kevin from Sam's house cat. Ridiculous. Anyway, mess. Moving on. So, this whole time, Maxine has been pushing Mae to have Gigi as a speaker during a day with Lady Mae. And she is just like, no. And whenever Gigi's name comes up, she changes the subject. So Maxine took her ass in there to see Gigi. She tried to probe Gigi. Gigi wouldn't give her nothing. She's like, okay. She took her ass on back to Mae, and she went straight at Mae with it. And Mae shut it all the way down. She's like, what is going on with you and Gigi? And then they were having this meeting, and Lionel had made a call. Corinne had come in and said, Lady Mae, there's a call from Lionel. She said, tell him to call back. She ended up going out to see Lionel, and he said to her, I want to talk to you about my daughter. Gigi. I said, oh, there's the shit right there. Now it's going to be the shit, honey. I said, And that's the last we've seen of them for this episode. Now, Maxine, some of the stuff that Maxine is doing is, Maxine Patterson is messy, bitch. She's a messy, pulpit standing, money juggling, shady bitch is what she is. She really is. And she basically come in there fucking with Bishop, throwing daggers at him and being shady. And he said something, and he had said to her, you never know what to expect from a function like this. And he gonna say, she said, he asked her, so who's the donkey? And she said, I don't know who the donkey is, but you're the ass. I said, girl, messy. And he knows that bitch is up to no good. Well, he knows her from back in the day. She's a mess. She's coming there to destroy, and he knows it. Absolute mess. Last thing was Gigi and Bishop. Bishop came and talked to, Gigi went and talked to Bishop, and she said, I'm coming to talk about Rochelle Cross. He got all up in his feelings right away. She said, stop. You're not going to like what I'm getting ready to tell you. You're not going to believe it. But Rochelle Cross is Daryl James's daughter. Yes, she's the half-sister to Basie Skanks. And Bishop was looking at her. I said, There's 3 more episodes left before we get to including the finale. So 2 more and then the finale. This is getting too damn good. Too damn good. And this episode didn't have it had a whole lot, but it was, there was no real blow up scenes. It was just a lot of dirt dropped in spots, basically. So, yeah, it was a good episode, but more of a filler than anything else. But there was some dirt that we've been waiting on has dropped. So it was actually a good episode. All right, you guys. I'll get with y'all later.